This is the NASS current event of the week. Hit us.
All right. Well, with Alien Romulus coming out recently, of
Yep.
course, there's been little tidbits from Fede coming out left and right. And one of the tidbits is when he was asked regarding the merging of Alien and Predator, because that's what people usually ask for. He
Mm-hmm.
did come out and say that it might be, something that he might want to do. And the pitch he had is possibly doing it while co-directing with Dan Trachtenberg. And for those who don't know, he's the one who did Prey, which was also a hit on Hulu, great movie. And not only that, but doing it Dusk Till Dawn style, which that was co-written and co-directed by Tarantino and Rodriguez. So two-part question for you guys. Like, one, what are you guys' thoughts on that team up together to join them both together? And then two, is this something you would want to see anytime soon? We'll start with you, Dan.
Yeah, so I know he mentioned about him doing half and the other guy doing half. So it'd be awesome if Fede did the first half of the movie and the other guy did the second half of the movie. That's how I would pitch it. Prey is my second favorite Predator movie, right? I thought it was the direct sequel that we should have had a long time ago, or prequel, sequel prequel. I thought he did great. Fede did amazing with it as well. It'd be awesome to see. It's hard to do. Not everybody can co-direct. It's very hard to do that. So the best way to do would be able to kind of separate scenes or storylines or something. So if Fede focused on all the storylines that was revolved around the xenomorphs, and then the other guy focused more on the Predator storylines until they at least merge and they come to some kind of understanding for that whole third act when they finally battle. That'd be pretty cool to see. But hell yeah, I'm on board with that, man. You gonna give me more xenomorphs? Yes. Even if it's bad, I'm still gonna watch it. I'm in.
That's true. Marie?
Well, I was tearing up listening to that because I obviously would want to see another Alien versus Predator because I think I'm the only person in the world that likes to see the OG Alien versus Predator, like the only person who actually has a guilty pleasure and likes it. So to have Fede on it and then the director of Prey would be awesome. I like the Dusk Till Dawn idea, especially because of what Daniel said with it being hard for directors to co-direct, but I hope they can keep that like cohesive feeling. I mean, like when I watch From Dusk Till Dawn, I know there's supposed to be such a different like a moment where it breaks and it's totally separate, but I found it's like a little too different where it's like, oh, I definitely like the first half way better than the second half. And I would like to feel it more like cohesive where I love both halves. When they come together, it's just like perfect. So, I mean, yeah, sure. I want to watch it right now. Sign me up. I'm ready for it.
Yeah. So you're partially alone, Marie.
Mm.
Because I actually I am a Requiem, AVP Requiem is kind of like a guilty pleasure for me. So even though I'm not a fan of the first one, Requiem I'll go revisit and I actually do enjoy that, even though I know it's not good. But it's
Mm.
an enjoyment factor with that one. Regarding this, I'm a yes no for this. I'm a yes because of the talent being put together. And while I do agree, there's always going to be a level of difficulty when you have two creative people trying to merge one idea and kind of put it together. And it's like, okay, if there's a disagreement, what's going to supersede type aspect? So that stuff's always going to be there. But I think at least with like Prey and what we saw from Romulus, there's some tonal similarities, which I think will probably make it easier to keep that, tonal base throughout the entire thing. So I'm gonna make it a little easier. So on that all aspects, I am a yes when it comes to this. The no aspect to me is I don't want to see this yet. I want to explore these two worlds more first before we go straight to battle off merger between both of them. I want a little bit more of that Predator world that we got with Ben and continue that. I want more of what we got from Freddy, expand off of that. So expand a little bit more on both and then have them join together. Let's not rush it.
Okay, so I have an extra little tidbit that we can discuss on this too. So James Cameron was interviewed and he mentioned that he had an idea for Alien 5 before they released Alien versus Predator. He was going to write it, Ridley Scott was going to direct it. And the second that they got their grubby little fingers and they made it Alien versus Predator, James Cameron says the franchise sold out and I'm no longer interested in doing a Xenomorph movie. You lost my interest. And sure enough, lo and behold, that's what killed the Alien franchise for a long while. How do you guys think that would have gone? Which also means we probably wouldn't have gotten Prometheus either, because Ridley Scott would have gotten his hands back on Alien 5 and he wouldn't have written the story. It would have been James Cameron.
No, I mean, I think definitely the series would have gone a lot different, considering we probably would have gotten that one, and if there was going to be a follow-up, we probably wouldn't get it for another 15 years from now. So it probably would have been very spaced out. Maybe it would have saved us from Avatar. So that's a plus. Uh,
It's like it's funny because you see an alternate timeline and it's like that actually sounds pretty cool. I wouldn't have mind living in that timeline.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I would have given it a try. Who knows? Because after the first two Aliens, it was, you know, very hit or miss, going towards bad. So it could not have hurt to at least give it a try.
Oh yeah, I feel the same, especially if it means that Prometheus wouldn't have maybe been around. Maybe Prometheus wouldn't have been a Xenomorph movie. Maybe Prometheus would have been something totally different, which would have been awesome. And then maybe I wouldn't have the qualms I have with now Alien Romulus, and Alien Romulus would have been perfect to me. So I don't know. Yeah, let's go visit that timeline. Let's go.
Yeah, and here's one thing too that I think you guys haven't thought of yet with this, right? That means if James Cameron and Ridley Scott said we're willing to come back and do an Alien 5, it also means, Jose, that they didn't think 3 and 4 were so trash that it lost the franchise. It also means that they're willing to come back. So then when AVP came out, then they felt like it became commercialized and that's not the Xenomorphs anymore. So that was interesting to me too, because that was one of the first thoughts was like James Cameron still felt it was worth his time to go back to that franchise. Like that meant something.
Or
Counter Strike
Yeah.
is that, you know, three and four got it to life support. Not enough to kill it yet, but got it close enough to life support that they're like, damn, there's still a chance. Give it that last bit of CPR.
yeah,
And then MVP, AVP came across and then just face stomped it and was like, no,
Yes.
it's over.
He's dead. He's dead. Here's coroner records and everything. But man, so you tell me you're gonna get an enthused James Cameron and Ridley Scott touching this to reignite the flames? Oh my God. And that would have been a perfect blending of Alien 1 and 2. So like, dude, this would have been we were robbed of a very good Alien movie.
Maybe they were like, God, those two are so bad. We're the only people that can actually bring this back to life. Like they were so bad. Let's show them what we can do. Let's show them a real Alien movie. I mean, I don't think that.
Because AVP, they would have felt the same way after AVP. They're like, we can still bring it back. Or was that so bad that they were like, nah, you killed
too
it?
far then.
I think it was too far fetched. Like it was too like, well, what the hell is this? Why are we combining these two worlds? This is way too like to sell like toys. Like who knows what it commercialized? Like who knows what they thought? But they still could have thought the other ones were so bad that they were like, let's do it. But then Alien vs. Predator came around and like lots of people gave up on it after that. Lots of people, like the world for a little bit, right? Not just them.
Yeah, I am curious. We discussed the ease and the difficulty of Fede and Dan working together on this project. How do you think it would work out with the ego of James Cameron and Ridley Scott trying to work on a movie together?
That was my first thought.
I think it would be amazing. And remember, James Cameron wasn't going to direct it. And the thing that I will say about Ridley Scott has a massive ego, one of the biggest egos we've ever seen in Hollywood, right? It's part of his talent. That's why he is, because that's why he's so talented sometimes, because maybe it's derived a little bit from his ego. Everybody respects James Cameron in the industry. You're not going to be touching that much and deviate off the James Cameron script. And that includes Ridley Scott. I've seen him give his flowers when he respects directors. It's just with Ridley Scott, he respects very few directors. James Cameron is one of them, though. So I think it would have come out amazing. I have no idea where they would have went with it. But to me, it was like, even if, like you said, they had on life support, they still saw 3 and 4 as somewhat viable, unless if they felt like we need to bring it back and make it Alien 3. Like, this is essentially going to be Alien 3. We're going to go ahead and kind of reset the storyline. it also tells me a lot about the passion that they had for this franchise, which we obviously know with Ridley Scott to the point where he had to go back and redo Prometheus and all that other stuff. He tried to change it in his own ways. But I just love the fact that these guys stepped away and still felt the need to come back to this franchise. Like it adds further validation why we love this franchise so damn much. Even James Cameron and Ridley Scott still can't get enough of it. That's tight.
But we wouldn't have had Alien versus Predator though. Alien 5 would have been Alien versus Terminator. That's what it would have been.
Yeah,
I would have
that's
watched it.
that's the humans they created Skynet. They created the Terminators to fight against, to be our protectors against the xenomorphs.
Oh my
And,
god. Yes.
and that's why they're made of the one substance that can't be burnt through the acid.
Until
Right.
you get a face hug on a Terminator, which doesn't even make any sense because they don't even have any organic parts, but you get some kind of robotic xenomorph. Yeah.
Okay.
Even though it makes no sense at all in their story, but like, hey, that's kind of cool. And you get a T-1000 version of it too. Hey,
You have to send the Team 1000 back into the past to stop that first person who got face hugged that
there you
created the
go.
xenomorph
There you go.
epidemic that ended up destroying most of the earth in there. But at that point, that woman's an innocent woman,
Yeah.
or guy. At that point, the Terminator's trying to kill them, knowing that they're gonna the ones that are gonna start the whole thing. But I will
Mhm.
say, in a serious note, if we do get an AVP movie, I would love to have an AVP movie with minimal to no humans involved in it,
Yes.
where we create a
Mm-hmm.
story with predators. And I mean, you
Well,
have to
you
get
have to have
creative because you don't
dialogue.
have the
Yeah,
language aspect.
the other wouldn't
Yeah,
have
you
dialogue,
have
yeah.
to you have to have humans in it because even when you had Freddy versus Jason, you have to have some dialogue of some
Yeah,
sort on
well,
screen.
predators have dialogue. It's just
Mm.
alien
Yeah.
dialect. You can go subtitles when it comes to that, but
But when we actually see Predator one, it's like that dude's so racist. Oh my God. And when you watch it, like they're so offensive. Take off the closed caption. Take off the closed caption. Why does the guy have a Brooklyn accent? It actually says Brooklyn accent. He
Brooklyn
says like
accent.
that doesn't even make any sense. It's so stupid. And that was this week's current event. Please like, subscribe, comment, share our YouTube channel for more content.